Hi, everybody. Okay, so it's Wednesday, middle of the week, and so that means either we're gonna get a good episode or a middle of the road episode, and we got a good episode today. So, woohoo! Yay! Okay, so we finally have some progression, and I love that. So I'm happy. Okay, now it's kind of funny because I said that well. I said Claire was going to fight for her relationship with Kyle, and she was going to actually fight verbally with Audra. Didn't know it was going to happen so fast, but really enjoyed it because I also said that Claire's a really nice character and everything else, but she needed some chutzpah. Well, they finally gave her some because she was out at a restaurant with um, Nate and uh, Holden and Daniel and um, Tessa. So kind of like a double date plus one. Anyway, so Holden is telling a story about how his reality TV career started on a dating show, but he didn't get past it because he had dated one of the selectors before and had ghosted her. And that um, somebody said around the table, I don't think I would tell that story. And he said, why? I'm just being honest and everything else. So then Claire says, no, I get it. And I was like, there's the seed. They're planting seeds for it to grow into a relationship at a later date. Um, okay. So then the Amy and Audra is there with Audra's there with Nate. And at first they're having a good evening, and then it's like something clicked off in Claire's brain and said, here's my chance. And so she says to Nate, I really have to talk to you. And she was serious in her tone. So he knew that, he should listen to her. And she said, I want to let you know what kind of girlfriend she is. She was willing to throw your relationship under the bus for money from my grandfather because they made a deal that if she could break us up, then he would give her money for the company, which is all true. We all know that, okay? And so Nate is really emotionally just done because he had just come from his brother's funeral, who he just found out that was his brother. They were just connecting and everything. Then he had to deal with his mother's grief about the loss of his brother and the fact that his mother kind of lost the will to live because of his brother's death. And he goes on and on and on. And then on top of that, now he has to deal with this woman who he's just met, kind of talking about his girlfriend's intentions about her life. And so Audra is totally going into damage control, or as I say, CYA, which, cover your, you can figure it out. So she's totally going into that mode, saying, well, she's just hurt and like she just lost her father, and so she's grasping at anything, and she's so desperate to believe anything her boyfriend says, yada yada yada. And I'm like, but there's some truth to it, Audra. Like, you did do that. And he says, well, honestly, I don't know what to believe, but I'm inclined to believe because number one, she doesn't seem like the type to lie. Number two, you have been acting strange lately and all this other stuff. And in the fact that you just gave up on Vibrante was very weird to me. So I'm like, all right, he's gonna believe her. He's gonna believe Claire. And then here's the coup de grace as far as that goes. He says, well, totally changed my night because I was looking forward to going home and relaxing with someone I deeply cared for, but now there might be a change of plans. And I felt bad for him in this situation more than her because Audra knew what she was doing. She had to know what she was doing. She had to know what she was possibly giving up. And she still decided to do it. So there. Okay. Now, with Daniel and Tessa, looks like it's going to turn into a relationship because they're in the phase of still getting to know each other, but they like each other, and it's mutual, and you can tell. So it's like, all right, I'm not. I don't know. Okay, I'm slightly not happy because of the way they just gave up on the Mariah and Tessa marriage and relationship. But if it's gonna go this way, it's gonna go this way, and let's jump into it with both feet. So that's where I am with that. Okay, on the other side of town, or whatever, Courtney Hope and Jason Thompson, Billy and Sally are still a couple, and she's gonna run Abbott Communications, and he's gonna run whatever. So yeah, but Adam doesn't know that, and so Billy's trying to keep Adam on the ropes, whatever, having an advantage over him, which is so like childish, but I get it because Billy feels like Adam has messed with him too many times, and so he's willing to use anything he has for leverage against him. Okay. So that was basically it today because now we know where everybody kind of stands, only we're waiting on the next move. So yeah, but there was more progression today. So like I said, that always makes me happy because sometimes I feel like the soaps in general are in a rut. So when they're not, I really enjoy it. Okay, bye everybody.